I wanted to go live today to cook some breakfast with you, spread some joy and love. And if you are in here at some point in time, I have a bunch of Zoltar fortunes that I will pull for people individually. I'm making bacon, potatoes, and eggs. That is what is on the menu today. Instead of buying hash browns, which I don't know if you ever look at your food, but when you buy hash browns, you're not just buying potatoes. There are other things inside of those potatoes. So I make my own at home. And I literally just cube up a potato. I like to keep the skin on it. Sometimes I don't, but normally I do. And then the key to making good potatoes is they've got to soak in water for a little bit to pull out some of the starch. Some things say 30 minutes. I'm not gonna do it for 30 minutes, probably like 10, but it still helps them. Last night we had an open house here. My neighbors did, and I tagged along, and it was really nice. I got to meet a lot of beautiful ladies that I hadn't met before, and my animals loved it too, which was really cool. My dog, I'll show you, she's of course begging at my feet. Say hi to the people, Milky. She goes, but I want the bacon, Mom. She just, as you can see, she's getting a little up there in age. And so there was a lot of activity here for her yesterday. She would have normally been sleeping, but she was running around. And then my kitty cat, Pepper, she's somewhere. She got to meet some folks too, which was cool. I had an experience yesterday that I want to share here. Oh man, I overdid the bacon. And the reason I want to share about the experience is because if I have experienced this, I can guarantee you will too. Your body will never lie to you. And sometimes you meet people or a person and their energy just isn't in alignment with yours. That doesn't mean that they're a bad person, that you're a bad person. Nothing like that. It just means that you're not for one another, and that's okay. But I realized how do I want to say this? A trauma response? I would call it a trauma response, is when I meet someone like that, and I know my body, I'm listening to my body, it's saying, do not engage in any further relationship with this person. I fawn over them. And what I mean by that is it's almost like the safe response that I learned as a child was like, be nice to them, be overly nice. That's the only way in which, you're safe, which isn't the truth. Instead of simply saying, I'm not interested in having this relationship go any further than this. And it took me till overnight to realize that that is a response of mine. And so I just want to give you all permission that if you meet someone and the energy just isn't vibing, it's okay to tell them to end the relationship, to whatever it is in that moment that you need to do. Because I promise you, the person will benefit as well. So I was just sharing a little bit of vulnerability that I experienced yesterday at this open house. But it was really beautiful as a whole. And I'm just so excited. So I opened up my healing center officially in August. I'm in Arlington, Washington. And I just created group classes the last week. And so I'm really looking forward to meeting with groups of people. That's what I'm being guided to do. And the classes that I've created thus far is, the first one is a core values identification class. And the intention around that class is to bring you peace, remembering of who you are on a soul level, helping to release energies associated to programming that you received. And what I mean by that is, I did not realize that I was a separate entity from my parents. I know that sounds bizarre, but I literally thought that whatever they believed, I needed to believe. And let me tell you, that just simply isn't the case. You're two different beings entirely. And what their belief system is not going to be the same as yours. And so one of the exercises of this core values class is literally writing down the core values that your parents have, and then dissecting which one of those isn't yours. Because there will be some crossover, I'm sure, or maybe none at all. But once you start to understand who you are, what makes you tick, you're a lot better at discernment and through this, vessel of life. The other one that I created is a inner child healing class. And in this class, it's a guided meditation, and ultimately, with the help of spirit, you will be guided to an important experience that happened in your childhood that is seeking to be expressed. And when I've asked spirit, is this a traumatic experience? it doesn't necessarily mean it's a traumatic experience. The other thing that comes through is, you know, rarely do you see 40-year-old people skipping down the street, but you'll see a 4-year-old. And that 4-year-old lives inside of you. And so part of the experience for the inner child healing class is going to be potentially connecting with an aspect of yourself that you didn't know that was seeking to be expressed. And then the final class that I have created is a total body healing class where it's a guided meditation as well, where you will go in with the help of spirit and heal yourself on a molecular level. So if you're just joining and you would like a fortune from Zoltar read, please let me know because I will pull a card for you. I'm just cooking breakfast this morning and wanted to share some light and love. So I hope you're having a good day. You want a treat, huh? Something else that I'm creating that I'm very excited about is I want to do group readings for people where it's just spirit comes through and I don't know what's going to happen, but it's just a group reading. And then the other class that I want to create or offering, I guess this, yeah, would be a class, is a vision board class for 2025. Wow, that's wild to even say 2025. So I'll be creating that here in the next week or so too. So she needs some water. Here you go, puppy. That pepper got me. Oh man. What is that? Oh. Oh my goodness. I just realized this is wild. There's a filter that you can put on this. So it's on now. This is what I really look like. That's interesting. I love myself too much. Like I just noticed the other day, I'm starting to get my first wrinkle here. Like one that's there all the time. And I'm developing one over here too. And I am so grateful for it because the reason I have it is because I smile so much. What a beautiful gift. I don't want that to go away. I'm very grateful for that. All right, I want to take you on a little walk. I think I have showed this before, but I just am really excited for the holiday season. Ooh! And I got a little stocking here for Buttermilk, and I got one for Pepper. And of course, they're on the nice list. You know, they're angels incarnated. So, and then as you can see out here today, it's just kind of a gloomy Washington day. I'm in Western Washington, so a lot of individuals think that all of Washington looks like this, and it is divided by the Cascade Mountains. Not only is there a physical division, but I mean, let's say it's a lot more red on one side of the state and a lot more blue on the other. But this is my view out of my office, and I just love it. Hi, Poopy Butt. I put together a basket last night for the open house. And what came in it was a 30-minute reading with me, a complete crystal handbook, these really beautiful aventurine crystal earrings, this flower agate, which is like, to me, is just absolutely stunning. This square onyx dish. I mean, the lighting just doesn't even do it justice. Just beautiful. This soda light worry stone. And then also I make this really yummy root chakra, I'd call it an energy tool. It's beautiful. It is super grounding. I use it all the time throughout the day. Oh, and then I am an artist, and so I got my art put on notebooks recently. And that was also part of the package. Yeah. I will say the one thing about cooking your own potatoes, which, I mean, just look at how beautiful they look. Oh, beautiful. Is they take a little bit longer. But the beautiful thing about that as well is when you make your own food at home, you're able to infuse it with your own healing energy. And one thing that I know to be true is the more energy that we put into our food, the better it is for us. I'm going to clarify that. Because, I mean, that would mean like ultra processed things are really good for us. The more time we spend interacting with our food, the better. And But you can also, let's say, I don't know, let's say you want to eat that McDonald's, and that's fine. You can do whatever you want. You have free will. Something that you can do as well, though, before you are consuming the food is making sure that you're in a state of grace, that you are, you know, if you're eating food angrily and in a anxious fashion, that energy is going to stay with you for a couple of days at a minimum. So being in a state of grace, peace, happiness, whatever you want to call it. And then the other thing too that I know to be true is that you can energetically change the frequency of the food. You can ask God, the angels, your spirit team to have them elevate the frequency of the food to, you know, the frequency that is most in alignment with your highest self. And that's something that we all can do. And turn our food into fuel and energy that allows us to go on this quest that we're on versus having it maybe bring us down or we feel bad about eating it. There's a variety of things that food used to be a demon for me. I grew up where image was so important. I mean, that was what was programmed in me. Image was important, and thin had value. And it wasn't ever like you were to go on a diet to lose a certain amount of weight. It was always more. It was always more, and it was always more. And I had to repair my relationship with food. For starters, I didn't have an appetite. Food was an enemy. And so now I love food. I celebrate so many different things with food. But I had to heal that part of myself because it wasn't true. So, well, before I head out, I am going to pull, I want to pull two. I'm going to pull two Zoltar cards. I want this one right here. I don't know what it is. And then we're going to pull one from the other side. And I want this one right here. Oh, and by the way, I got this at Marshall's. This little, and it's got a bunch of them in there. All right, so the first one, it is longer. We don't regret the things we do. We regret the things we didn't do. Don't be overwhelmed by caution. Consider all the possibilities that come your way. You will need to sort out the good from the bad. Remember, however, that you can't take forever to decide. Hesitate too much, and a chance for love, pleasure, enrichment, or personal growth might slip away. Do this too often, and caution sours into timidity. No. Being timid. Ask yourself, what's the worst thing that could happen if you make the wrong choice? If the price seems low, it might be worth taking a bigger than usual chance. Caution has its merits, but so does embracing the courage that breathes life into your dreams. Balance these two things as you take purposeful steps towards your goals. What's wild is yesterday, before the open house, I pulled a card for myself and I put it back in the deck, and this was the exact card. So clearly this is a message for me. All right. The second fortune. If you want to pause to read, but I'll read it to you. And look at the man. He looks tired. Are you tired? Are you weary? Does life feel drab and dreary? Despair not of this, my friend. I see happiness around the bend. Say farewell to those blues you have been nursing. Get in the habit of looking at the brighter side of life. You have a temperamental nature. You lose your temper easily, but regret it just as fast. You have a brilliant mind and enjoy reading and the fine arts. Your friends appreciate your intelligence and like to come to you with their problems. You have a very sympathetic nature. A dark-haired person who is trying to harm you will soon disappear from your life, and you will be extremely happy. I don't know if this one's for me too, but I can identify with a dark-haired person. So, but with my losing my temper, I don't necessarily identify with that. I'm more of the type in the past that would just suppress my feelings. But I'm getting a lot better at expressing them in the moment. So I just wanted to go live today and share my light with you. I love you all very much. And yeah, I hope that you all have a really wonderful day whenever you're watching this. I love you. I love you.